90.3 Voice of the People FM's Evening Rush. My name is Precious Inyu. So this is where we get to have the finest conversations. All of those juicy conversations that probably have been making the round across Nigeria, right? So we are here to dissect them one at a time, to look at them, to talk about them, and most importantly, to have you have a say on those conversations. And that's exactly what we do on the show Monday to Friday, 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Which 10 o'clock? No. When we're not healed, I cannot do 100 hours. All right. Okay, Lagos. All right. So, we're ready to get started today. I'm sure that you cannot wait to know what's on the menu today on the show. But guess what? As usual, we'll have quite a load of stuffs today on the show. So, so there was an exclusive report today, a detailed report by the BBC today that x-rayed or analyzed the Nigerian election, a case study of results from Rivers State, Nigeria, where and that report is titled Nigeria Election, the Mystery of Altered Results in Disputed Poll. The mystery of altered results in disputed poll. Now, this is coming this came in a few hours after the United States imposed visa ban on individuals who are election defaulters in Nigeria. And we'll be looking at that conversation. Then we'll move quickly to another conversation. So there's this exclusive report, again, of how Kwankwaso holds 4-hour meeting with President-elect Tinubu in Paris, and how he may likely join the cabinet. Remember that there was a time a few weeks ago that someone is saying, do not let Kwankwaso come into the party. Let him go back to PDP where he's coming from. Right? Well, we did hear that Kwankwaso had a 4-hour meeting. This is according to them. All right. So we're also going to let you into that conversation. All right. So, of course, you all know that it's already in the news that the medical doctors under the auspices of National Association of Medical Doctors, National Association of Resident Doctors, I beg your pardon, that is NARD, are starting a 5-day warning strike from tomorrow. So it will be tomorrow through to Monday. That's when that strike will take place, right? So, and of course, they said that that's because the federal government neglected the ultimatum, and of course, they are definitely engaging on that strike. Now, according to DSS, they say high-profile terrorists regrouping in Northwest. 5 arrested in Kano and Kaduna. You may also need details of that conversation. Ohanaeze indeed will disassociate itself from move to be part of Tinubu's inauguration. Right? Okay. And still on the hot topic this evening, Nigeria High Court holds trial of disgraced Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari behind closed doors. Why so? Why shouldn't we know? Well, you get to know. National carrier Nigeria Air to begin operations before May 29. Aviation Minister. You see this national carrier, there is a lot of drama going on there. With the whole thing of Ethiopia owning majority of the shares in the national carrier and all that on Air Nigeria, well, we'll get to look at it again. And May 29, Buhari has no bank account stashed with corrupt money. Garba Shehu said that. And of course, there's another exclusive report that Nigeria Major General on trial. You remember that Major General on trial, right? They said, the one that is on trial by court martial. They said he narrated how ex-army chief Burutai granted 75% discounts to Aisha Buhari's family, other VIPs, to buy houses from army property firm. Okay, Lagos, let's get started in a flash. Stay with us. This is 90.3 Voice of the People's FM, or Voice of the People FM's Evening Rush. Again, my name is Precious and I'll be right back. Evening Rush with Precious, featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors to discuss matters arising on Hot Topic Party.
What was the rate of inflation, and then what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations, critical analysis.
What is wrong with us 200 million people? We can't even give ourselves.
We sometimes disagree.
When we say our GDP is not an oil-dominated,
to agree. On Hot Topic Pali, Monday to Friday, 90.3, Voice of the People FM, Lagos. Now you have a voice. right, Lagos, you are welcome back. 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So let's get started with the conversation right away. Right? Okay. So let's take a look at that BBC report. So a BBC investigation has found evidence suggesting some results from Nigeria's presidential election may have been manipulated. So the winner, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now this is exactly the report by the BBC that I'm reading out to you. See, don't come at me. I am not in any way adding or coining my own words to this report, just so you know. And you can go look it up at BBC. It's a report by Chigozie Nwono and Peter Wine and Karina Igonikom of the BBC News. Right? Okay, so let's go back to it. So they said the winner, Bola Tinubu, is due to be inaugurated on May 29, but the opposition is challenging this. So the BBC has uncovered significant anomalies in Rivers State, a key battleground, although not sufficient to change the overall national outcome of the election, which took place in February. There are also questions over the identity of an election official who read out some of the unexplained results. This is according to the BBC. Now, how votes are counted in Nigeria? They say on 25th of February, Nigerians cast their votes at thousands of polling stations across the country, right? So at each polling station, the votes for the party of each candidate were publicly announced, and the result sheets taken to collation first at the ward level and then to the local government center. So an election official from each local government area then traveled to the state capital where the results were officially declared. That is exactly how it happened. Okay, so for the first time in Nigeria election, photographs of the polling station results were published online by the Electoral Commission, electoral umpire, you would say. This made it possible to add up all the polling station sheets and to compare them with the results declared at the state level. So now to what they found, or the BBC found in Rivers State. So they said, we added up the voting tally sheets from over 6,000 polling stations in Rivers State, where many of the opposition complaints had been made. While the official results in this state gave a clear majority to Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, our tally suggested that Peter Obi of the Labour Party had actually received most votes in the state by a wide margin. This is according to, again, the BBC. It's not me, and go look it up again. In fact, it's been trending all day on Twitter, so just go look it up yourself, right? So and then they did show us the results here where they said Peter Obi received more votes in Rivers State, but Bola Tinubu was declared winner. Number of votes for each candidate. So according to this report, BBC count polling station results. The polling station counted results by BBC was over 200,000 for Peter Obi. According to the votes that were counted by the BBC, over 200,000 votes for Peter Obi and less than 150,000 votes for the APC, that is the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whereas on the result that was declared by INEC, Tinubu got over 200,000 votes and Peter Obi got just a little above 150,000. So that's the discrepancy that he noticed. So, and they said, we found an increase of just over 106,000 in Mr. Tinubu's votes in the official declaration when compared with our polling station tally, almost doubling his total in the state. In contrast, Mr. Obi's vote had fallen by over 50,000 votes. So it's important, or they said it's important to make clear that although we searched through the election website for every single one of the 6,866 polling stations in Rivers State, we were not able to obtain results from all of them. That is to say that not all the results from Rivers State were uploaded so far. That's what this report says. So some were incorrectly uploaded, others were missing, even after a month from the date of polling. Now, for about 5% of polling stations, the photos of tally sheets were too blurred for us to read. It's reasonable to assume that the official count would have included these as as they would have been, or they would have had the original documents. Now, in another 17%, there were no results at all. Many of these would have been places where no voting took place due to security issues or non-arrival of voting materials. Others had technical problems preventing officials uploading the documents. Now, so there clearly would have been more polling stations included in the final official results that weren't included in the BBC investigation. However, these additional tally sheets would have increased the totals for each party, not decreased them. It would have increased them. And what we found was that the votes for Peter Obi's Labour Party had decreased sharply in Rivers State. So how can the sharp fall in votes for Peter Obi in official results be explained? That's a question they asked. And then they went to the topic that they said, where were the biggest discrepancies? So they say 2 areas stood out for them. First was the Oyigbo local government area, where we found, one, the vote of Bola Tinubu was 6 times larger in the officially announced result compared to the BBC's polling station count. 2, Peter Obi's vote had been cut in half. That's what they noticed. Then they went on to, also, state that according to what they found, that Tinubu's vote increased 6-fold in Obi's half, while Obi's half. So according to our vote, number of votes for each candidate, in Oyigbo local government, so they showed Peter Obi making almost 20,000 votes in that local government. In according to their own BBC counted polls or results, right? And Tinubu making less than 5,000 votes. While in the results that were announced by INEC, or the one that was announced by INEC, Tinubu made about the president-elect made about over 15,000 votes, while Peter Obi made just about 10,000, right? So the second local government area where found major discrepancies was in nearby Obiakpo local government. Now, Obiakpo is like the Alimosho of Lagos State, so you understand what we're talking about. They said the official result of for Mr. Tinubu was 80,239 votes, but we counted just 17,293 votes for him at the polling station tallies. The count for Mr. Obi on the official, announced officially, as was just 3,829 votes in Obiakpo, but the BBC counted 74,033 votes for Peter Obi in Obiakpo, according to the tally sheets. So that's it. And of course, they also did show that in a graph. So how did these discrepancies happen? So they went on to the forms, right? So they said, as explained earlier, all the polling station sheets are collated at local government headquarters. So they said, we found an official election document with these collated votes for the Oyigbo area, signed by an election official and some of the party agents. And there is a photograph of that. Now, the figures in that photograph were, some cancelled and some altered. So they said, okay, several different photographs had been taken of it and uploaded on social media accounts. Now, the numbers of this document closely matched our own tallies for the 2 leading candidates. This would have been one of the 23 collation sheets from local government areas in Rivers State, taken to the state capital, Port Harcourt, for the official declaration of results. I read further on that report, and it says, broadcasts live on television on 27 February in front of a bank of microphones, Oyigbo election official Dr. Dixon Ariaga announced his name and that he worked for the Federal College of Education, Omoko. On the recording, the word Omoko is indistinct, but there is only one Federal College of Education in Rivers State. Dr. Ariaga then read out the results for each party in alphabetical order, including for all the small parties. Okay. Now, they all matched those on the collation sheet by the BBC, sheet that the BBC obtained. But when he reached Mr. Tinubu's APC, instead of saying 2000, that is, do you understand this? That is, he announced, that is, this electoral official now announced the results. This said Dr. Ariaga, who said he's a doctor, a lecturer at Federal College of Education, Omoko, announced the results of the parties alphabetically. So you start with party A, party AA, party AC. Do you understand? Yeah. So that everything he announced was actually exactly how the results were in the sheets that BBC said they have originally. Do you understand? But then when his announcement got to that of the APC, instead of saying 2,731 as written on our photograph of the sheets, he read out 16,630. Did you hear that? Now, then when he also got to Mr. Peter Obi's Labour Party, the figure changed again. Instead of the 22,289 seen on the sheet, he announced 10,784, more than halving his vote. That is, cutting the vote into more than one half. Do you understand? All right. So they now went on to reveal the mystery surrounding Dixon Ariaga. Now, they said, we asked the Electoral Commission if we could speak to Dr. Ariaga, but they would not give us his details or reach out to him for us. So we spoke to the election official seated next to Dr. Ariaga, but he told us she wasn't authorized to talk to the press. That is the person who was seated next to Dr. Ariaga during the announcement of results. He reached out to the person. She said, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to speak to the press. So we sent a reporter to the Federal College of Education in Omoko, about 2 hours drive from Port Harcourt Maintown. Omoko is, torn away, far away from, if you're headed to Ojo from Ikeja, more like it. So, yeah. So they said we headed to Omoko, or the Federal College of Education in Omoko, about 2 hours drive north of Port Harcourt, where he'd said he worked when introducing himself, right? So the Deputy Provost, Moses Ekpa, told the BBC, from our records, both from our payroll and from our human resource, there is no such name in our system, and we don't know such a person called Dr. Ariaga. That's from their record, from their payroll, and from everything they have, that there is no such person. How come the Independent National Electoral Commission employed someone who said he worked in a federal establishment that it turned out that his name and data is non-existent in that establishment? That is a question that beggars for answers. Let's move further to that report by the BBC. So they said, we tried tracking him down on social media and eventually came across another Facebook account for someone in Port Harcourt whose profile details had the name Dixon Ariaga. When we compared an image from this account to the television pictures of Dr. Ariaga using Amazon recognition software, we achieved a match of 97.2%, indicating a very high possibility that they are the same man. Now, Dr. Ariaga did not respond to messages sent by us to his account. By reaching out to his Facebook friends, we did finally message to speak to a man who said he was a relative who was first willing to help us, but then didn't return our calls. Okay. Then they now went to the part of the report where they said, what have the authorities said? So they said, we put these findings to Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission. So they even reached INEC again on their investigation so far. Johnson Sinikiem, INEC's regional spokesman in Port Harcourt, told us that due to a gross shortage of time and personnel, they had needed to take on some people without verifying their identity and documents. Did you hear that? That Johnson Sinikem, who is INEC's regional spokesman in Port Harcourt, told the BBC that due to a gross shortage of time for an election that the INEC, the umpire, ought to have started preparing for 4 years ago. And now he's saying that due to gross shortage of time for an election that over 300 billion naira was budgeted for and allocated to for an election that they had assured and reassured Nigerians several times on how prepared they are for the election. All right. So, again, I say, according to the BBC, they said that the spokesperson to INEC Regional Port Harcourt, Johnson Tinikiem, said that due to a gross shortage of time and personnel, they had needed to take on some people without verifying their identity and documents. So you took on the number one man that should announce results without knowing his identity, not even an ad hoc staff. All right, to move on. So referring to Dr. Ariaga, he said if he had presented himself as a lecturer from the college in Omoko and it's otherwise, then he is dishonest. Oh, wow. We also approached INEC headquarters in Abuja for a response to our findings of discrepancies in the results in Rivers State. We were told that they were unable to comment due to ongoing legal challenges. So this is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the results having been manipulated. On their own, these altered results would not have decisively swayed the outcome of the presidential election. That's exactly what they're saying. They wouldn't have changed immediately the outcome of the presidential election. Bola Tinubu won the national presidential election with 1.8 million votes over his nearest rival, Atiku Abubakar, PDP. They said, we're still looking for Dr. Ariaga to respond to the findings in this report. All right, Lagos. If we can even talk on this topic alone today, enough said. All right, so Lagos, that's it. That's a conversation that we have this evening. What do you make of this report and this revelation and this investigation by the BBC? Yes, we know that the case is close to sub judice because it's already in court and pre-hearing stage is already on, but we'd like to take your thoughts and reactions on it. I mean, that's what we do. This particular report by the BBC has been trending on Twitter and across all social media platforms throughout today. So that's what we do. That's the essence of this show, to look at documents. And of course, you do know that the BBC is, of course, a very reputable media organization. So they wouldn't come out with a report like this if they do not have done their thorough job. They must have done their due diligence, I dare say. All right, Lagos, phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and your reactions. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 9. That's a WhatsApp line. So if you are watching from the diaspora and you like to join us on WhatsApp, you like to chime in on this conversation, you like to air your thoughts and reactions, let's get to hear from you. 0700 903 903 9. That's a WhatsApp line. So you can save that number on your WhatsApp, on your phone, and call us via WhatsApp if you're in the diaspora. Please, if you're in Nigeria, call through normal call. We beg you, eh? Okay. But if you're in Nigeria, call the real line 0700 903 903 903. That is 0700 903 903 903. I have loads of messages already on YouTube. Biafra, Superstar Media said, wow, who did that? I don't know. All right. Adewale Oluwo. See, I am not adding or removing anything to this report I read. It's according to the BBC. I said again, this is exactly as reported by the BBC. It is on their website, so you can go look it up by yourself. Right. Okay. So Adewale Oluwo said he said weary everywhere in Nigeria. Anthony Chukudi said, good evening, beautiful precious. You are looking great. You see your organization that is my organization is the INEC. Brother. You see your organization that is INEC wants to finish Nigeria. This is too bad. Loving your show. You know I'm addicted to your show. I'm glad you are, and I want you to be permanently addicted to it, right? Okay, Adewale Oluwa says, alliance of political crooks will finish Nigeria. Felipe Ebelemnag says, Nigeria. All right, phone lines are open, Lagos. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 9. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome.
Okay, President, I just want to comment on this news. You just let us know. This is Katina from Isolo.
Can you help me turn off the volume of your radio set? You see, this kind of thing is good that when we're talking, we can hear you well.
Okay. It's off.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just an account of what has been happening before concerning this political talks in Rivers State. You see, when people were saying that a lot of manifestations were done during the last election. Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
So people were doubting it then. You know, most of us commented that maybe the governor and all those people, they manipulated it now. Now, Nigerians cannot see it very clear that all that was done by INEC were complete manipulations. It is not very clear for everybody because people couldn't believe it then.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No,
You still refuse to turn off the volume of your radio set totally, but it's okay. You've made your point. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Yes, a very good evening. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from, brother?
Yeah, my name is Jay, calling from Germany.
Jay from Germany.
So,
What's your name? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll just go straight to the point. You see, the last time I spoke to you about Nigeria problem with how they do things, it's like it's like a prophecy. You see, Nigeria politician Jamata Ita, like seriously. In this Rivers State, they have a governor. I remember what I said the last time before you said, oh, we are on live show, something like that. So they have a governor who people think this man is really doing good to them, but not knowing that he's doing damage. You see, we can have just few days to go from office. Instead of him to just maintain what he have been doing, what he have been showing to the people that he's doing for them, instead of him to maintain that, I just make it look like, oh, I'm the best governor, which people prescribe him to be. But last, because of longer throat, selfishness, Wike did this to his people. People were complaining that many people died there. Wike sold his people out. All these things have been going on. People were saying the vote is not right. Instead of Wike to just calm down, what he just got to do, we have the president, the city president. Wike invites a newly elected president, according to them. He invites him to come and commission a route for him. All these things is playing out too fast. And look at what just came out. That the vote then is not right, something happened. That means all these things were planned and done by Wike. Nobody else. Even nobody should just point out at me, I'm against Tinubu, but nobody should just point out at Tinubu in this. This is all about Wike, and this is selfishness from Wike. Thank you. I just have this to say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Vegas phone lines are still open. Let's keep taking your thoughts and your reaction on that great reveal by the BBC. Quite an eye-opener, isn't it? All right. 0700-903-903-903. 0700-903-9039. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Precious. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Remy from Akoka.
Remy, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Is there really anything new in this information? I would say not really, except that of Mr. Arena.
Exactly.
Because
that is
yeah,
really,
that's just the only new thing.
That's something else, really.
Yeah, that's just the only new thing. Because even after the election, even while they were doing the coalition, each party's representatives were complaining about the results being ruled out. They contested it when it was being ruled out. Independent organizations like IAGA, Premium Times, and BBC reports about
Premium Times, very well. Premium Times.
Yeah. So the BBC revelation isn't something new to us. They are only affirming what we already know. So you get the question now is INEC are claiming to be independent. The same INEC couldn't confirm candidate results, which they tell that. Look at the case of Tinubu, the case of Umba, and my can't they for? I telling me they never knew the certificate they submitted are questionable. Look at the case of Mr. Yaga. This telling us is an unknown person to them. Someone represented INEC, and all of a sudden they are telling us the man's identity is kind of a mystery. I know some people will say to us that supposing this election was, supposing everything was going in favor of our own candidate, would we complain? That shouldn't be the question. Our concern should be justice. We want justice. Should things have gone this way in the first place? We want
By this way, are you speaking about the process? Let's be clear.
the process is flawed. Look at the way it is. You never had
But
this
they
kind
tell
of
you there's no
litigation.
perfect process in the world. That's what we usually
That
say.
is what they keep saying. Tell me where in Europe, America, where ballots were smashed, Precious. Tell me where people were told not to vote because they were Yoruba people, Hausa. Tell me where in
I'm
Europe,
actually
they always
waiting in
claim-
this kind of situation. I'm actually waiting for my diaspora people to call in and tell me what would have happened if a media house, a reputable media house, did this finding in an election in their country. The action that their, the administrators of the country would have taken. I'm really waiting to hear. It's okay. Thank you. Go
What's
ahead,
even
Brother.
going on now? What's going on now is like a test for everyone in this country. Individually, institutions, the judiciary, the media. This is a test for us all. So on what side are we going? Are we standing on? Do we want justice? Are we interested in the truth? Or should we just forget and move on and leave the system the way it is? Okay, this is just Port Harcourt alone. This is just River State alone. Now imagine how many states, how many results were manipulated. Because I don't want to, like, because this discussion might end up being, and even if you add up all the results of River State, people might still end up being the winner. That shouldn't be the discussion. How about all that state results? What happened to it? INEC is complicit with this, same as Mahmoud Yakub. The same thing that Raja did was something someone did in Adamawa. They took up Mahmoud Yakub going against the guidelines. Okay, they're telling us they don't know who Ariaga is. I think the chairman should be arrested. Because this is like putting the country as in what happened can like set this country ablaze. Precious. What just happened that we are taking lightly can set this country ablaze. Look at the process. Look how flawed it is. Now the public will tell you we should move on and they declare the winner. With this flawed process, we never had this thing this bad before. The last INEC chairman you had, Jega, never had it this way. We thought we were going to move. Probably we were going to have a better system, only for us to end up with what Yakub and INEC came up with. We need to just keep demanding for justice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Remy. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening to you. Voice of the People FM 90.3. You're welcome. Can you help me turn up the volume of your listening device, please? Hello?
Yes, please. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Yes. Good evening, Precious.
Thank
This is
you.
Kingsley speaking. Yes.
Kingsley from where, please?
I'm calling from Belgium.
Kingsley, you're welcome. Oh yeah, tell us. If this did happen, if a renowned media house came up with a report like this about your election in Belgium, what would, the situation be? What action do you think the authorities would have taken?
Yeah, to begin with, I mean, that wouldn't even happen in this part of the world. And I'm not hearing you, Precious.
Go ahead. I can hear you crystal clear. I can hear you.
Okay, great. So to begin with, such wouldn't even happen here. And, if it does even happen, the authority will lead the way, with the investigation and everything. They wouldn't even leave it to a media house, and this goes to tell you of the fact that, the authority, they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Many of us in the diaspora, even though we have the comfort of all the amenities that we, all the goodness of life, what have you, even though we have such here, but we are still concerned, it's our mother's land. Nigeria is our mother's land. A lot of us left there because things are not working. I left there because of, things are not just working. The injustice, if you don't know nobody, you can go nowhere. But that is it's not like that here where I reside in Belgium. When you have the right qualification, you are given the chance, irrespective of the racism and everything, which is even minimal. So Precious, you're doing a wonderful show. I stumbled across your show just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm loving it.
Thank
So
you.
that is why I key into what you are doing, and just to lend my voice, and for your viewers to know that we are here, sharing, supporting that Nigeria will produce a leader of capacity, integrity, somebody that the people voted for. But it seems that is not what we are seeing. It's very disappointing. But again, the case, is in the tribunal. So we are expecting and believing, that justice will be done.
Thank you.
At least
Thank
if
you.
it's for this one time.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Canada.
What's your
Right
name?
here in Canada.
What's your name?
My name is Femi.
Femi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Well, with the expo that you're just talking about, it's quite interesting, although it's not something that is not known, but at least for us to be able to get it internationally recognized and seen for the fraud it is. It's quite interesting. And I hope sincerely something good will come out of these. But otherwise, it's another trouble, another 8 years of when you finish, you hand over to another crook. So
please help me
it's a
mind
good
your
work
language.
you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let me quickly visit my YouTube. So I see all the Gbazbos people are giving me, and trust me, I'll give you back the Gbazbos in the same energy that you're giving it to me. So let's get there. Armstrong Vino says, what happened in River State happened across Nigeria, and Tony Chikudi seems to share the same idea too. Osakwe Ikushime says, Joel says, what is the police waiting for to make arrest? Why is Nigeria this badly administered? And Chibike Peter, see you. Adeyemi Shoyemi says, thank you for the good job you are doing. It is very unfortunate that this is happening in Nigeria. When do we all stand behind the right? He said, when do we all stand behind the right things, irrespective of tribe and religion? This is not coming. This is not coming to us new. And Samuel Anya says, good evening. He said, good evening. These people want to finish this country. He said, for their selfish narratives, right? And Philippe Ebelemgu says, there is nothing like rigging here in France. I was waiting for that your message being too. You say I should support the truth. If I don't support the truth, it will not be well with my family. My dear brother, the reason I am opening, for me to even raise this conversation in the first place, is because I love the truth and I'm supporting the truth. So you see that thing you're wishing me, I pack it and give it back to you in all measures, good measures, shaking down, broken down, shaking together and running over. Back to you and your family. How dare you say that? You don't say that now. Come on. If you know the risk involved in the job that we do, then you will understand that I have to be professional about my job. So please, whatever you wish me, I return the same to you in the same measure. So moving on to more messages. Area Mantle Stanley says, precious stand for the truth. Philippe says this does not happen in France here. Oladeko Isaac says EB things. Stella Owolabi says, good evening. I heard all you read. If all this is true according to the BBC, why will their PE minister congratulate Bat? Again, why would their prime minister congratulate? That's what you asked. And he said God will intervene in this mandate. All right. Michael Chinedum says, where are we all going in this country? So many questions that beg us for answers. But let me quickly go back to my phone lines. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Hello, precious Winky INEC.
Are you seeing yourself? They know how you doing.
I don't want mention them. I don't want mention INEC official will not get address. Like I no go put you for high jump because now your brother.
All right, go ahead, please, Nedu.
You see what I've been saying? We are joking in that country. Okay. We are joking in this country. They fight for my ear. Nigeria, they listen.
Go ahead, just go ahead.
So we have been saying this. Premium Times said it. Imagine when they come to state like Kogi, Plateau State, even in Lagos State, PDP use their mouth, their yam shopping mouth. If they were, you say their yam shopping mouth. Take talk say
now Chukodi talk like that.
Okay. No, okay, no Shuko. I mean to say no be a devil or Shuko they talk and use their yam shopping mouth. Talk say the march. Labour Party take win these people for Lagos. Say no be here. So they cut and join just for them to stay there. Imagine the kind of people.
So Nedu, let me quickly ask you, right? If this report were by the BBC, released by the BBC, while observing your Swedish election, what would the Swedish government do?
Swiss, not Swedish.
Oh, Swiss rather. What would they do?
Yes. Everybody that is involved, by now they will be counting their years in prison. I'm telling you.
So they would have taken this investigation serious. Is that what you're saying?
So serious. Ours, we don't even go to polling booths. Everything is being sent by per mail, what they call it, post. We send it per post, and it delivers by post, no error, nothing, and it's trusted and it's working. You see, the issue is our media houses are not doing enough because so many media houses are being corrupt.
No, you don't say that.
No,
you don't say.
No.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead and contribute on this.
I'm just telling you.
Don't say that.
No, because
you don't say that about media houses. You have no idea of the intense pressure media houses are. So don't even say that. Don't say
I
that.
I know the
people
pressure
who work in
by
the media
MBC.
are true to their profession. So don't say that. Every single person who's a media person is true to their profession. So you know that.
Precious, Precious. I'm not. I said some, not all. And you cannot tell me all the media houses in Nigeria are playing their roles. There are some media stations I don't set my eye on till today because I know they have intelligent people who knows history. But when it comes to politics, they are biased.
All right.
Because the owner of the media house is one of their candidates. You understand? So this is why I'm talking about. When I say media houses, for example, India, they are up to 1 billion plus, 1.2 or 1.3 or so. They do their election, everything is being shown transparent. The result is being counted. In America, where we borrowed our what they call it, our ways of government. When media houses are being transparent, they are saying it, they are inside there where they are counting it. No ojoro, no nothing. Nobody is disputing them. But in Nigeria, they block them. They use a lot of things against them. So sometimes I understand you people. I understand media houses in Nigeria want to do more, but they are being resisted on whatever they want to do. But we can see Premium Time said it, but
And now BBC is doing the same.
BBC break it down. Today, Festus Kayomo, he is now posting by his what they call it on Twitter, the match between APC and Labour Party. So where he is counting is, even if you minus the River State, we still win. But he don't know that if they should go state by state, they are flaw on the ground. They go nowhere.
All right, thank you.
You understand?
So
But
let's let others participate.
this
People
is
are
where
calling, and you're taking so much time. So let's
all
let us
right.
jump in
This
on
is
the
where
show.
we'll find ourselves.
So,
Tell your brother saying
we'll
try.
we'll let you do 6 minutes with us. Come on now. You know, not say the airtime. If
Tell
money
your
don't pay
brother
time.
saying try.
Eh?
You see, let us stop celebrating people that do flyover, do road. This is their work. They are not doing it with their money. They are doing it with the money that is
flyover and
being
leave
paid
my
them.
governor alone. Bye bye. Bye.
Oga
Take
flyover, Connie. Cody.
Bye. All right, like I still Voice of the People 90.3 FM. So we're looking at this detailed report that has to do with the election, with a case study of River State by the BBC that they tagged. Let me get that. They tagged it. The title of that report is Nigeria Election: The Mystery of the Altered Results in Disputed Polls. And then it was discovered by the BBC that a said official of the electoral umpire, INEC, or someone who acted, in an executive position on behalf of INEC, is not even working in the place he said he was working in. And we're wondering, would INEC have known this? Plus, including, I like to say, that tautology, the discrepancy in results. Lagos. All right, and we're jumping in on that conversation. So let me quickly let our messages reel in very, very quickly. Yep. And this says, good evening, Precious. If all this, according to BBC, what will their... Okay, yeah, you said this before. Good evening, Precious. Your face is not smiling. I sympathize with you. You need a break. I'm sorry. You know, I told you guys I'm bereaved, right? So, I'm planning a funeral. It's a very hectic thing. So, yep. That's part of the reason why my voice is gone, so bear with me. Machix Cheesy, I see you. You say Nigeria is all right. Chukwemeka Camera says, good evening, Sister Precious. Do you see what your governor is doing in Nigeria? He said, believe me, I know they talk that in way you talk, since you don't accuse my governor. Finish. Bintu, you're back again. He said, evil contraption that must be dissolved. He said he is right. Vincent Ugoke says Nigeria. Okay. Emmanuel, I see what you mentioned there, but I'm not even saying it. Chukwemeka Camera, yes, sir, you are very right. Like, okay. Ivan says, woman, he says, woman, your media is not greater than those in the developed world where all of you are running to. You hardly condemn evil in Nigeria. Are you serious? Come to Nigeria and condemn evil now. Why are you away trying to condemn it? Come inside Nigeria, live inside Nigeria and come and be condemning it. Carry town crier container and go and knock and condemn evil inside Nigeria. You don't know. Michael Kafo says, Precious, I am sad that well-meaning and well-to-do Nigerians will be alive and watch some politicians perpetrate this fraud in this country. We cannot continue to live like this in this country. Tony Chukudi says, it will not happen in Europe. Precious, you are doing a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And Esther Michael says, good evening, Sister Precious. She said, she said bye-bye, Loma. Thank you so much. Okay. And Manuel Lucian says, Madam Precious, I'm a job from Delta State and I'm 101% for Obi. And I am shocked that you as an Igbo woman will be supporting. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I cannot let you know my political affiliation because according to my job, I'm not supposed to have one. So if the reason why you're saying this is to poke my mouth to understand who I'm supporting, apologies. You're not going to get it. I'm being true to my profession and I will do that very diligently. All right? In every sincerity. Oh, every atom of professionalism, if I have to say that. So, unfortunately, it is what it is for you. It's okay. You have the right to feel how you feel. Ivan says, Madam, how many times have you clearly condemned the declaration of the president-elect, knowing very well that he did not win an election? I will never do that because it is not my job to do that. My job never entails that I have a stand. Do you understand? You understand the fact that I shouldn't have a stand, right? That's what my job entails, and that is what I would do, right? I'm going to say, may Nigeria and Wike happen to you, Precious, and your family. May Nigeria and Wike happen to, may everything bad happen to you and your own family too, in 100 folds. Are you kidding me? Tony Chukudi says that is the reason why they wanted to do same to Adamawa State. And yeah, another, this says, fear God, okay? Fear God says, Precious, well done, thank you. Taiwo Aboyomi says, it will be well with Nigeria, only God can save us. Yes, I agree, God will save us. For the past 8 years, millions of Nigerians have been suffering and still suffering under the oppressive, mismanaged regime, which is due to continue with a new lead. And you said a lot. All right. Maxi says, Precious, keep being professional. Of course, I don't have a choice. No, so Dumeke says, okay. All right. So let me quickly go to WhatsApp because I have loads and loads of WhatsApp messages. And let me see if I can begin to attend to them one at a time. Madam Precious, remember me. Thanks. Madam Precious, remember me. Who are you? I can't remember. And then this says these are the criminal structure they kept talking about, and yet they want a better country. How is it possible to have a better country when INEC and politicians always manipulate the process and people who has questionable character always emerge as... All right, you said a lot. And you said, talked about what BBC revealed in River State and the story from the BBC already known. Unfortunately, Chris from Ikeja sent in that message. I appreciate you, Chris. And please, in all of this, my question is, what is the next now that BBC has proven INEC wrong? And what can we be expecting for the forthcoming 29th of May? Unfortunately, we've not got a reaction from the government, right? The hype you are giving the BBC who spread fake news about Qatar is hilarious. Oh wow, this is another angle. You guys see it, right? He said, would their finding change the outcome of the results? The answer is no. Obi can't win. That's clear. They should prosecute the culprits and prove that APC won, which I believe they would. Even if the election is redone 20 times, prosecute the culprits and let us know who won, and peace will reign. That's what you said. Green from Leary sent in that message. All right. Okay. So for those of you that are expecting me to tilt towards your direction, the earlier you understood or respected the fact that people have the right to have diverse opinion, the better for you. And the earlier you understood and respected the fact that one has to be professional in their job, the better for you too. Good evening, Pretty Precious. I hope Festus Keyamo, FFK, and other spokesmen of the president-elect have read the BBC revelation. I did like to hear their replies. Shedrack sent in that. I'm not going to glorify that. Good evening, dear Precious. Wike is the that manipulated the Rivers election result. The evil he did will surely continue to haunt him. Now that Wike has left malaria and now swimming in cancer. Well, you went back to that his statement about malaria and cancer, right? He said he has done what will hunt him down for life. The fact remains that Tinubu is an illegitimate president. Oh wow. BBC has done well. Some of what happened in other states too, because if INEC conducted free and fair elections, okay, and he said the APC would come out last, considering what the mess they have put Nigeria in the past 8 years. That's what Emperor said. Yeah, Precious, this is what a tip of the iceberg. Wait until you hear what they did in Lagos, Benue, Plateau, Ebonyi, Imo, and the rest of them. Yeah, Precious, this is just okay. That's what you said. He said if they announce the real result, APC will come behind Kwankwaso Party. It's not that bad. You guys coming down. Hi, thanks for doing a great job. I appreciate you. And then Emma from Festac says it's really sad that it was the BBC that has to convince us about the credibility of our own elections in Nigeria. Here it takes social media before our press follow it through. When it takes the APC politicians and ethnic bigots to intimidate us and tell us election is done like that in other parts of the world. I'm asking if we really have such media houses in Nigeria that can do same. We do very well. To investigate, Premium Times did, remember? To investigate, pull, and prove. Yes, they did that. Premium Times, they were the first to come out with the discrepancy in results in River State. Premium Times, right? Precious, the INEC spokesperson in River State is just went to rekindle the minds of Obi movement. However, if Obi let him go to all the 36 states during digging out fake results, yet he will not win the tribunal. Mr. Benjamin from Apapa said that if you like, go and dig out all the fake results, you won't still win the tribunal. That's what he's saying. Good evening, precious. If there be any bad eventually or evil occurrence as a result of this proposed presidential inauguration, INEC chairman Yakub Mahmudu should be held responsible because he intentionally and purposefully caused all these things. Babeji from Oshodi sent in that message. Precious, good evening. I am Mrs. Okere from Ajangbadi. There is no truth in Nigeria that is the problem. There is no truth in Nigeria. You said that's the problem. No law in Nigeria. We have laws. All the people telling lies will be jailed. God will jail all of them that making poor people suffer. Those in authority are bigger than the masses, but they are not bigger than our creator. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So let me go back to the phone lines very quickly. Hello, good evening. Can you help me turn up the volume of your listening device? Thank you. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I've heard what people are contributing.
Go ahead.
But in
What's
my
your
own
name? May I
case.
know your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Oh, okay. My name is Nathan, and I'm calling from UK.
All right, go ahead, Nathan.
I hope you are hearing me.
Very well, Crystal. Go ahead.
Okay. So, what I'm saying is that I do not know if Nigerians think that we can conduct an election free and fair in that country, considering what happened this time in that country. Nathan, and I'm calling from.
No. You know what you're doing? You're trying to listen to yourself.
So, considering
on
what
your listening
happened
device at the
this
same
time,
help me turn off your listening device, please. So
I
that we can have a proper conversation.
wonder why.
Can you help me turn off your listening device, sir? Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Turn off your listening device, please. You hear that hold back? That's that bounce back, please. It's not friendly.
Okay.
And it makes your speech delay.
It's all right now.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, in actual fact, what I'm saying is that do we Nigerians think that election can ever be free and fair in that country, considering that INEC, seeing what happened in Lagos and in Port Harcourt, declared the result in a state like Lagos where some people are sent to mortuary. And INEC went ahead declaring result, and the governor is dancing with the family. Why are the other people are mourning and grieving over their loved one that has been deposited in the mortuary? And yet they are getting away with it. Nobody is punished. The result is not cancelled. And you want me to believe that in the next round of election that more violence will not take place. Because these people now who are watching now, seeing that this one that happened in Lagos is arrested, no result is cancelled, result is declared, and the governor and the family are dancing and rejoicing and smiling to bank. Do you not think that by the next round of election, people will, since these people, nothing happens to them, we will do it the best way we can, and you think that violence in elections will stop? So this is what I'm thinking. This is my problem. And some people went ahead saying that no, the election has never been free and fair in any country. Can't we set a pace in Nigeria and do things differently and let people come to emulate us in our country, Nigeria? People said in Kenya that the electoral tribunal was conducted in 2 weeks. Is it possible? Can it happen in Nigeria? But that is credit to Kenya. But we are stronger in every respect.
But not in population.
Than Kenya.
But remember, the population also matters.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is the system and the procedure. That is why Obi is saying that he's not quarreling with the declaration, that he's quarreling with the procedure. Nigerian government has never followed the rule of law. Since Buhari came in, he has never followed our constitution. He only, according to Pa Adabenjo, he only consults the constitution when it favors him. When it doesn't favor him, then he puts it by the side. And since he came in, he has been ruling with the military. Check any of the advanced countries of the world. You can go to UK, you can go to America, you go to France, you go to Germany. You do not see soldiers on the street with guns. For what? For what reason? But come to Nigeria, they are menacing. The soldiers are menacing. DSS are menacing. The police are stealing. If I tell you what happened to my own son in Lagos, the police my son was in the Taizi, coming from airport to where he was going to launch. The police double-crossed the Taizi, pulled this young boy, a student from the Taizi, put him in their own van. When they are patrolling, you think they are patrolling to control crime. No, they are patrolling to see who to rob. That was how they dragged my son to a police station in Lagos. This happened to my own son. They started manhandling this poor boy. And at the end of the day, they made away with 50,000 from his phone, from his phone. Money that was meant for his school fees. They stole it from his from his phone with the wound they gave him in his mouth. What blood was gushed out and smeared his face. This is a situation we are in that country. Is that what we are happy about? We relax to say, oh, we here in the UK. Let me tell you what happens here. Here in the UK, yes, if you, somebody, Africans are councillors. A Nigerian is a councillor here in the UK.
Of course, your prime minister is not even, he's an Asian, so I understand the beauty of the
a Nigerian is MP, member of parliament in the UK. But in Lagos, Nigerians are telling the Igbos to go back to their own nation.
Can we focus on the talk? Let's not derail. First of all, I'm deeply sorry for what your son went through. If he was innocent and was maltreated, that's why a lot of people keep talking about police brutality. So I can totally relate and I understand. Apologies for that. But let's not derail this conversation. I appreciate your input so far, though. Thank you very much, sir. You've spoken for 7 minutes. Can I let someone else now talk?
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, a few more messages here. Okay, so Cornelius Wajike says, my dear sister Precious, problem of Nigeria is that Nigerian problem has no solution. Nigeria is not a creation of God. Obadike Obani says, who can tell us the common factor between Peter Odili, Rotimi Amicha, and Nyesom Wike? Don't go there. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
I'm AJ from Ikoton.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Honestly speaking, I wish I had access to you yesterday.
You wish you had access to me yesterday?
Exactly.
Why
in the course of your program.
Oh wow. Apologies. So usually, like today, the phone line is also on fire. So it's usually like that on this show. Apologies.
You see, I've always said, I remember last Sunday when Peter CK featured, on your program. In the course of conversation, I made him understand that the only subject that is tribeless, that will remain tribeless, is the truth. I'm happy that what, ensued in the course of election, unfortunately, is being projected by foreign media. What a shame and a state of high degree of opprobrium on Nigeria. And I'm sure similar things will be traceable to everything. Simply because they want to cling to power. See, if you cling to it now, definitely tomorrow it will, reveal the secretion commission. I just wish I were not Nigerian. I repeat, I wish I were not Nigerian.
It's okay.
Honestly,
I appreciate
because
it.
I
Thank
can't
you.
stand this place.
Sorry
I can't
about,
stand this folklore.
sorry about that.
I can't stand this balderdash.
Sorry
I
about
can't
that.
stand this purple. I can't stand this gibberish that is being, placed on the plate of meal that is meant.
All right. I have to let you go. The voice,
given
the
to
sound is
Nigeria.
actually very bad where you are. There's a lot of echo, and it's not making for a great conversation. But I get your point.
Can
and I
you hear
appreciate
me
you. Thank you.
properly now?
No. There's an echo where you are, and it's not making for a great conversation at all. So let's not keep letting it drag our conversation. All right, so Lagos, in case you're just joining us, we're looking at this detailed report by the BBC on the outcome of the presidential election in Rivers State, or using Rivers State as a case study. And they tagged that report, Nigeria election, the mystery of the altered results in disputed polls. Nigeria election, the mystery of the altered results in disputed poll. And they did a lot of revelation. In one of those revelations, where they, had a case study of two local governments in Rivers State, Oyigbo local government area and Obiakwa local government area, where the results were drastically different from what the electoral umpire announced whilst they were, during their result collation. So it was just a huge difference, because what the electoral umpire announced was totally different. For other parties, the results were normal. But when it got to APC and Labour Party, they were different based on this finding by INEC. And then the worst of it all is that they also got to make a finding about one Arriaga, Dixon Arriaga, who is supposed to be electoral commissioner. Who is supposed to be, I think, the returning officer, right? And so they dug about him and found out that he wasn't actually a lecturer from the university or the school that he had announced that he was a lecturer from in Port Harcourt or in Rivers State, because he had claimed to be a lecturer from the Federal College of Education in Omoko, Rivers State. But by the time they took the investigation there, it showed that nothing about him was in that university. He's never been in the payroll. He's not anywhere around that place. They went to INEC to inquire. INEC said, I'm sorry, I cannot speak about it because the case is sub judice. And they're wondering, okay, so how can INEC employ someone who does not have traceable place that he's working and place him in a position like that to announce results? Now, these are other factors that he did find out. By the way, we also have other discussions that we've been looking at today. So there's this exclusive report, how Kwankwaso held 4-hour meeting with the president-elect Tinubu in Paris, and that Kwankwaso is likely to join Tinubu's cabinet. You may also like that conversation. It's a long one, but I don't want to bore you with it, right? And of course, you know that resident doctors are going on strike from tomorrow. So DSS, there's a high-profile terrorist regrouping in Northwest. 5 arrested in Kano and Kaduna. And also, we're looking at Ohanaeze Ndigbo disassociating self with move to be part of Tinubu's inauguration. And then Nigeria High Court holds trial of disgraced Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari behind closed doors. Why the hiding? Why behind closed doors? I do not know. But that's the conversation. Lagos. And then, of course, National Carrier Nigeria Air to begin operations before May 29. So the Minister of Aviation is insisting that it must start Nigerian Air before the end of this administration. Why the hurry? Why the rush? Okay. All right. How electoral body INEC government officials changed Tinubu Peter Obi's scores during presidential election, hired questionable individuals to read results. Now, this is Sahara reporters rewriting the headline from that BBC investigation. And then there is also this report exclusive from Sahara reporters that says Nigeria Major General on trial by court martial narrates how Ex-Army Chief Buratai granted 75% discount to Aisha Buhari's family, other VIPs to buy houses from Army Property Firm. So Army Property Firm, Buratai asked that Army Property Firm give 75% discount to Aisha Buhari and her siblings to buy properties. So if a property is like 100,000, they pay only 25,000. Anyway, all right, Lagos. Phone lines are still open. Let's continue to digging on that conversation. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. These are the numbers to call. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. These are the numbers to call. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello. I think I lost you. All right. So Sahid says, okay, Sahid, don't say that about someone's son. Please, I beg you, be kind. Okay. Ebele Mumbo says, fear God. Okay, all right. I see you guys there. Thank you, well done. And let me go back to my WhatsApp messages because I have tons and tons of them. Precious, good evening. What's of promise, Lady B from Ejibo? Promise is fine. She'll come back after I return on leave. Evening, Precious. The Rivers State election is not news anymore, but can the BBC go to other states to let us also know the situation on the election results over there? Those people that said it could not happen in Western world, we all know how Russia involved in the US election and also the stand of CNN and Fox News in US election. Did you hear that? That's what someone is saying to you guys. Going back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Hello. All right. I don't have that time. Hello. Good evening. What time is it? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Precious. My name is Jacob, and I'm calling from Canada.
You're calling from where?
Canada.
All right, Jacob. You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I think my comment goes to Rivers State people. So, it's so unfortunate that Rivers people will allow Wike to actually use them for his own personal interest. So unfortunate. And looking at Wike, I think this is just one thing that we see all over Nigeria, because the same thing that happened in Rivers, I believe it happens in Lagos and all other states. So, rushing to actually inaugurate this guy, I think is totally uncalled for and should be stopped. So that is just my comment. So because Nigeria will be definitely in a big shit if this guy is sworn in on 29.
All right, I appreciate you. You're entitled to your opinion. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. And then this says, good evening, Precious. This is AY from Moshi. Precious, today is fire for fire. You and your YouTubers. Don't mind us. It's this love and hate relationship that we have. All right. You say, if this type of investigation should be carried out in all the states in Nigeria, Tinubu won't come back to Nigeria. Why are you doing like this? All right. And then this says, these people don't think once someone is not thinking like they do, the next thing is to insult the person. Is it hard to know that we all can't sleep and face the same position? Obi can't win in North. We all know LO route to victory is very slim. Let's leave sentiment and emotions out of this. Also know that Peter Obi also gathered a lot of votes in the North too. So let's also leave sentiment aside. What do you even think is the demography of voters in the North? So the fact that you have a great percentage of some people who are Muslims in the North, do you think that the Christians in the North would have also voted Peter Obi? And how many people do you even think that are even the Muslims that also do not want a change of status quo? Come on, let's just forget about that basic that we think. There is actually more to every election that we actually imagine, or more to what's happening to Nigeria than we all imagine. All right, Agige from Agige says, the only truth can set a nation free. Any rational thinking Nigerian would agree with me that the currently concluded general election in Nigeria are massively manipulated. However, what marvels me is some elites, including university professors involved in this, that the lion's share of the blame goes to the INEC chairman. I wonder the type of legacy he, the INEC chairman, will leave for family and Nigerian youths in general. That's what Agige says. All right, going back to my phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Henry. I'm calling from the UK.
Henry, you're welcome. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Precious. You asked what will happen if this kind of a thing happened in the diaspora.
Like the UK where you are. By the way, your Prime Minister was one of the first to call in to congratulate us.
Obviously, something like this will never happen in the... Yeah, obviously, something like this will never happen in the United Kingdom. We just had our election on the 4th of this month. The only thing that people complained about was the fact, in fact, conservatives said the reason that they lost the election was because they introduced photo ID, which they have never done. And because of that, the conservative voters refused to vote. A lot of people didn't vote for the conservative. So something like this will never happen in the UK. But if it does happen, which obviously, like I said, it will never happen, because election, you don't have anybody to man the voting station. Nobody is there. Police is not there. Just somebody that will look at your voting card, and you go and they vote. There is no police, and they begin their voting from morning 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. By the morning the next day, all the results are out, and nobody disputes the result. So it is not going to happen here. So thank you so very much for all that you are doing.
Thank you.
Like there was a caller who did mention, he mentioned the media houses. I think to an extent, some of the media houses, for instance, one of the media personnel or media man who came out to say, I swear to Almighty God that Tinubu won. A media man is not supposed to say that.
I'm glad you know that no one is supposed to say that. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I get your point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Lagos, going back to my phone lines. Okay, so my WhatsApp is on fire again. Okay, remember that you too have the right to call in to air your thoughts and your reactions on this conversation. Okay, all right. Hello, good evening to you. No. Turn up the voice, turn up the volume of your radio set, please.
Pretty precious.
Well, yeah, what is that? Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Yeah, man. God Almighty bless your handwork.
I appreciate it, amen.
Yeah.
What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Tony Shu calling from Ikotu Egbe.
All right, go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Yeah,
Is what? Oh, yeah, I lost you. Apologies. I think the line went off on you. Hello, good evening to you. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Kingsley Azeta, calling from London.
Kingsley, you're welcome. Very quickly, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, I believe Nigeria can still make it. What is happening to us is just being greedy and selfish. Or will I call it the art of wizardry or witchcraft? I don't know. If we can change the name Nigeria, maybe it will be better. Nigeria can do it. We have people that can change Nigeria. Like I read the book, The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. Yes, but the beautiful ones are yet born. Obi is there. Let people, give him a chance. We're going to change Nigeria. What is happening? Is it a cause? Can we just say we're no more Nigerians or erase it from the map of Africa? It is so unheard of. What isn't happening? How can we open our eyes and put a sick man? So I'm sorry to say that anyway.
It's
okay. I'm on air.
Just go straight to what you are discussing, please.
Yeah. Okay. The topic is what is the topic again? Sorry, I just came in now.
By the BBC. So there's this report by the BBC revealing the discrepancy in results in River State, where it is mentioned that at least a case study of 2 local governments where they hugely removed discounted votes for Labour Party, and they also hugely
Yes.
votes for APC. And then
Yes.
they also did realize
Yes.
that the person who's the I think the collation officer there is
Yeah.
not actually a the returning officer, does not even exist in the university that he said he works in as a lecturer.
I think I heard that. I heard you saying that. Yes. Yeah. You see, what I'm saying, what is there is it? INEC knew the people that they employed. They knew their background. They knew that from nowhere. They knew what they wanted to do before the election. They knew it already. So it's not news. Funny that my babies have to find out that man. You know how many of those men we have as staffs of INEC? Many of that kind of people. We have so many. So Nigeria, please. Auntie, thank you for your job, though. It's not easy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right. All the
Yeah.
best. Well done. Hello.
Yeah,
Good
bye.
evening
Yeah.
to you. Hello. Hello. All right. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. So let me quickly go back to my WhatsApp messages, or maybe take a few more direct calls. Hello. Good evening. When you call me, please turn off the volume of your radio set. Hello. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Tracy.
Yeah. Well done. Who be that?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you? Hope you're doing okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Go ahead.
Tracy, I want to confess that I am falling in love with you.
Hey, wait.
Please don't tell anybody.
Nobody will hear this. It's just between you and I promise
Please.
you.
You are very smart and intelligent.
It's a secret between
You
us.
are friendly. You know. You're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you are bold discussing this kind of thing. Even though you know you're going to cover yourself up.
Thank you.
I read that thing online on Yahoo News this morning, and I laughed. I laughed. I was waiting for you this evening. I was thinking you were going to bring a lawyer to the studio.
It's deliberate not to bring a lawyer, because I mean, what differently would the lawyer say anyway? Do you understand?
Oh,
What
yeah.
the lawyer will have to say is just very pretty much restricted, especially because the case is almost sub judice. So they'll tell you, okay, well, it's before the courts. Let's see what the outcome of the courts will be. So, so there's no need. Let's have the world contribute and air their thoughts.
Yeah, it's okay. It's very unfortunate that this is happening, and it's happening in River State. Where
My
Wike,
dear River State.
where Wike, a brother who pretends himself to be an honest person, is the governor. It's too bad. Wike is not what he pretends to be. Anyway, that's by the way. I wanted to know whether this is tenable in court. And also whether we can also employ BBC to do the same for all the states in Nigeria.
Maybe you should just go to their social media handle and ask that question directly. But in the question about it being obtainable in court, or tenable in court rather, I don't think there is any evidence that is not presentable in court.
Because if it's not tenable in court, then it may not really.
There is no evidence that is not
matter.
obtainable. Oh, come on, you can present any evidence. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure about that.
That's what I'm asking. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you. Well
appreciate
done.
it, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. All right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Help me turn up the volume of your radio, please, please, please.
All right, I've done that.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome.
Precious.
Yes, sir. Sir?
My name is Henry, calling from Amukoko.
Henry from Amukoko, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Henry, yeah. I don't have much to say, but to tell you that you're a professional. Keep on doing your work. No shaking for you. And you are equal to the task.
Thank you.
God will protect you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Hello. Good evening to you. Hello. All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
My name is Laura.
Precious Nwike.
All right. Hello.
Hello, Precious Nwike. How are you?
Are you kidding me?
Wait.
You almost made me choke with this.
Where is it?
You almost made me choke. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Leon calling from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Leon, you're welcome.
Yes, sir. I don't give you name. I say the Precious Nwike.
Leon Mahmoud, you're welcome. Go ahead. We'll be sharing surnames up and down. Don't worry. You're welcome. Let's have you have a say.
So what happen? So newspaper not the Nigeria we go get the ability or the boldness.
Premium Times. No, you guys should stop these things you're doing to the media in Nigeria now. Premium Times also had a report like this. Very detailed one.
No, but you see, the reason we are not talking about it, there is a problem, and the problem is what? The media in Nigeria for the last 8 years has been gagged. People cannot speak freely. The journalists are not free to do their job to fix the country, because journalism is to speak truth to power. You understand? So when they are afraid of what will happen to them, some journalists will just even disappear. They will not see them. They will kill them. So it's not that we are blaming the media in Nigeria. It's the fact that what is happening that the media cannot speak up is because they are afraid of what will happen to them if they speak. Me and you know, when you start speaking, you will disappear. Most of the stories, and when these media men they run and go abroad for fear of prosecution, you understand, and they start putting the true stories out there. No one will believe them that, oh, you are abroad, you are trying to put fire into the polity of Nigeria. So that is the problem. It's not that I'm talking down on the media of Nigeria. You people are doing wonderful work.
It's okay. Can you speak to our topic now? Which of the conversation would you like to chime in?
Is it not? I'm talking about the fact of the issue of River State now. That's the consequences. This thing could have been reported. All the issues of election across.
If this investigation was revealed by a reputable media organization or by the BBC, but about a United States election or US election, what do you think the US government would have done?
You see, it doesn't matter who reports what is happening in the US. You understand? It doesn't matter who reports it. But if you see how the institutions of this country work, let's retract this issue about election and election results in the US when Donald Trump claimed that he won elections and that the elections were rigged. In the state of Georgia, the Secretary of State for the state of Georgia, who is a Republican, who belongs to his own party, takes an oath of office that he cannot tell a lie. He refused that, no, these elections that these elections are credible. They did a recount. The court gave an order. They did 2 recounts. But the question is, when people were complaining in Nigeria about election, what did INEC do? He said that you people should go to court. Court doesn't count ballot papers. INEC does. So why should you wait to go to court for INEC to spend more money for the challenges that are in court? Why don't you put the due process? Okay, you are challenging these results. Let's stop. Let's count again and make sure everything is clean and clear. If you are not satisfied with the ballot counting, then you can go to court, because there will be clear evidence that these elections are credible. But that wasn't the case. We saw everything that happened. They could have cleared the air. INEC could have cleared the air. So it's a different thing. It doesn't matter who reports it. Even but the thing about Nigeria, do you think Nigerian journalists are not honest? They are. Are they not credible? They are credible. But the question is, can they actually write the truth and go free? That's the problem. That's all I have to contribute.
I like the way you're the jury and the judge. Thank you for being the jury and the judge in this case, in this conversation. I appreciate you, Leon.
Well,
thank you.
Since as you have put me that I'm Leon Mahmoud, no problem.
So
you are
precious your office very well. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, Lagos, we're still having the conversations that we are having, and it's quite an intense conversation today. Hey, you want to finish me today? You want to finish me today? It is too much for me, but let me just take a few more calls. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, beautiful precious.
Yes, so who is that?
With regards to Darlington,
Like,
I borrowed the name beautiful.
you're not my Darlington.
I-
It's okay.
I know he will be jealous wherever he is now. That's why I said apologies to him.
It's okay. Go ahead.
He's the only
What's your name,
licensed
sir?
caller to call me by that name beautiful.
Aww. What's your name, sir?
So how was your day?
Stressful. Always stressful throughout this period, but it will be
Good.
over very soon.
I'm afraid for the Nigerian nation. But one thing is so sure. Even if they are the end of the tribunal's issue and the High Court and the Supreme Court, they were unable to upturn the election of APC. Nigerians has already known what brought us to this point, how we got here, how the election was marred with irregularities, how people were beaten at the polls, how ballot boxes were smashed, how people were wounded, maimed, killed, just for one man to be declared as president-elect. It beats my imagination. I want to tell you that why the voting lasted, the presidential election voting lasted. The INEC helmsman, Yakubu, came on air to assure Nigerians why the report was making rounds that some polling booths were not having the electoral materials on time. Why some votings are not recorded on the server. He came on radio, national radio, and still reassured Nigerians that INEC will do all things possible for them to upload the results. That they are doing something even where the Viva did not work. That they are making arrangements to supply them with other new Vivas to assure Nigerians that the election was going to be credible. Alas, this is where we find ourselves. I regret even coming out to vote.
I don't say
but
that,
on
sir.
that day, Nigerians were taken for granted. Our hopes was completely dashed. We now knew that the problem of Nigeria was nothing but leadership. The people we entrusted power onto to take Nigeria to the promised land ended up making Nigerians instruments of mockery. Now, what happened in River State happens almost everywhere in Nigeria. It's not only in River State. It happened in Imo State. It happened in Anambra State. It happened in Kogi State. It happened in Sokoto. It happened in Benue. It happened in Plateau State. But the worst of it all was one in River State. That was what it was made mention of. If we are to sit down and take records of what really transpired in this last election, because Nigeria will go up in flames, but I don't think that to happen. I want all Nigerians to remain calm while the tribunal do their job. I repeat, even if at the end of all that they were unable to uphold the election, I know Nigerians will be waiting for it because Nigeria knew already how we got here. And we vow that this is the last time Nigerians will be taken for this way, will be taken for granted. The politicians who made sure that the election was not credible were the same politicians now juggling for posts at the National Assembly, calling people to vote them, telling us how integrity they have, how everything will be right if they are voted into that seat of National Assembly. But they made sure that the presidential election was truncated on their platter. I don't know how much was given to them. I don't want to have taken to gamble with Nigerian destiny. Every Nigerian came out for this election. Nigerians came out in numbers, in millions, with their destinies in their own hands. And they made a vow that they're going to take back their country. Unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Like it is happening. Very, very painful. Let's see how it happens. I pray Nigeria does not go up in flames.
It will
Enjoy
never.
your evening.
It won't go. Thank you so much. Enjoy your own evening too. Oh my goodness. Hello, good evening to you.
No.
No, don't be doing this turn down the volume on your radio set when you call me,
I've already
please.
done that.
All
No,
right.
I have to listen to you first.
You're welcome. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Taiwo calling from Oriri.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear you, Taiwo.
Yeah, you see, I know this will happen in River State. River State is, I know this is going to happen. It's going to come out at the end of the day. In River State, definitely they will manipulate the election in River State. There's no two ways about it. That one is sure.
Why do you
Because
believe so?
I will believe so because Wike is someone no one can ever trust in this country. Wike is, don't let me use abusive word. Let me just forget about it. Wike matter. Let me just forget about this matter. And yesterday we talk about a soldier writing letter to whatever. You see, whether with that soldier threatening or they are not threatening, no. You see what is going to happen in this country one day?
No. All right. No. I won't let you say that, So let me let you go. No. All right then. Thank you. Hello. Good evening to you. Hello. All right.
Hello, Bishop.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Tony Studa call back.
All right, Tony. Very quickly, if you've called before, give others a chance to speak now.
Yes, the thing called just
Okay.
Anyway, this is a very interesting program. This is a very interesting topic. You see, this country, it has come to the time that we all know that we are deceiving ourselves, and it is.
There's a lot of noise at your background, so you may have to help us hurry up so that.
Yes, it is BBC. It is BBC. If they cannot believe people like you people that giving us the update, it is BBC. They have to believe whatever that comes out from BBC, because the truth is already open to the world. The truth is open to the world, and I did not blame anybody, because only Buhari. I'm putting the blame on you. I'm still putting the blame on you, because I didn't mean he corrected this thing at the initial time. All this mess we are seeing ourselves nobody will even be still having this issue on ground. But it's just because he just concluded that is just all. That is why he could not even make any statement.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let me go back to my WhatsApp messages. Manuel Luciano says, I used to like Wike, but not anymore. He said Wike betrayed all of us who had trust in him. God will also, he said what you said there. Thank you, Manuel Luciano. And then he said, I wasted my money and my time traveling from Accra to Delta State to vote for a productive Nigeria. But look at what I got after wasting time and money. I'm sorry. But do you know that there were a lot of Nigerians who even came from the diaspora to vote but were not able to vote? That's the one that hurt me the most. People wasted their money, their time, took off from work and came to vote, and they were not allowed to cast their vote. It's either maybe in some of their polling stations, INEC officials, they were not. All right, I see you, Manuel Luciano. Sorry about that. And Madwago Nkema Column says, there is no way country immersed in lies and deceit can progress with this kind of lies and deceit. All right, and Stephen from UK says, good evening, Sister Precious. What Nigeria need is a revolution because the politicians has nothing to offer us again. That's what you said. Let me quickly run through these messages on WhatsApp because there are so many. Good evening. Most Nigerians always say that no election is perfect anywhere in the world. Agreed, but Nigerian elections always come out worse. If one can benchmark or rate election results in Nigeria, will come 0 over 100. Next election will be results will be worse than this particular one. And then you went on and on and on. And you said your name is Hugo from Isolo, Lagos State. I appreciate you, Hugo. Thank you. Sister Precious, good evening. This matter carry bat beleo. Temple from a papa no be small beleo. Be like saying a triplet carry. Precious, tell the man that called from UK that he cannot change tribunal law that says 180 days, and he should stop comparing country that runs different constitution. Nigeria runs written constitution, while UK runs unwritten constitution. So comparing the two countries show that the man lacks education. Mr. Benjamin from Apapa. My UK people, did you hear what he is saying? If you have a response, please bring it on. My job is to be the referee. All right, I'll move on to more messages. Good evening, good afternoon, Queen Precious. I'm sorry about the, oh, thank you. And then he said about the loss of my dad, thank you. He said you just buried your younger sister, and I know you are feeling now. It's a terrible thing. Death is a very terrible thing. I'm so sorry you lost your younger sister. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tony from Chicago. I appreciate you, Tony. All right, I'm so sorry for the loss of your sister. I am reaching out to you from Canada. I am paying for some rivers that rivers people are allowed to use Wike to use them for his selfish interest. Yeah. All right. And then this says Nigerian politicians should come to Germany and see how the Germans play their politics. I am sorry for my country in Nigeria. And then, okay, so more messages, so many more messages. This says, good evening to you. Please, can the name Nigeria? You guys, you just have lots of visual thinking. So really, you say your name is Itoya from Azeta, London. All right, okay. Good evening, Prepre. See, the only thing Nigeria should do now is to. I'm not going to read that thing you said there. Michael from Bagada. I heard the love thing. Oh, you heard which love thing? Oh, please. All right. This says BBC is doing the work Nigerian media has failed to do. Thank you, and that's why we're appreciating them. I might not Nigerian media and carrying the thing that they did, because I appreciate them. Expensive from Ikeja says, good evening, my precious. With all we know what happened during the election, is it fair to say the swearing in of the president-elect will amount to serious criticism and of the law? And I just hope Nigeria can, because this past election has really divided us. And INEC chairman, I must say, is the biggest problem Nigeria has so far. That's what you said. Results, oh goodness. Results by the BBC were directly from the INEC results portal called IREV. And this is just from the 2 local government areas in one state. Now, imagine other local government areas in River State. What about those in Lagos State and other states? We cannot allow the president-elect to and will produce illegitimate government. Peter Obi won the election. That's what you're saying. All right, I take more messages now. So, all right. So this says, Precious, please help tell our Obodo Yibo people that no journalist was put to jail to arrest for reporting the truth news. All right. Okay. And then this says, good evening, voice of the people, my sister. We, Nigeria, are the problem of Nigeria. INEC and Nigeria listening to Jega after 2015. The game he played to bring in PMB now is Mahmoud Yakubu. I bet you that the karma will visit him and you will see him talk about this election. This is only Rivers. By the time other states come, I don't know how Nigeria will feel. This is a Mike from Aswani that sent in that message. Mike, I totally understand. Hey, I want to kill me with messages. He sent one messages like a zillion times. So you join me late and then you send messages. All right. So let me calm down and read it. He said, good evening, Sister Beautiful Precious. Engineer, by the way, thank you so much for yesterday. You said, with the report from BBC, everybody can testify that 2023 election was not free and fair. There are lots of lapses in the election, more especially from INEC. Kudos to Rivers government for rigging the election. Thank you from Naya. Mr. Darlington did not come today. Mba. It comes every Mondays and Thursdays. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. And then this says, Precious, this is the right time for Nigeria to get their bearing. If they fail, it's only God knows now. Nothing is so special for what the BBC did. So to realize more on I say seeing even in the social media that more of this kind of thing was seen even in social media. God will save this country. Mr. Ude CK sent in that message, right? Okay, I have a few more minutes to take a few more calls, and let's see if I can just jump in on a few calls. Numbers still remain the same: 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp line is still 0700 903 So my UK people, you heard what that last message said, Abby. So I'd like you to also jump in on it and tell us what you feel. All right. Hello, good evening to you. I lost that. 0700-903-903-903 and 0700-903-9039. Okay, so you said, Madwago Nkemakolan says, please, what's the number to call into your program? Please be consoled. Okay, thank you so much. So it's 0700-903-903-903. Yep, you can call that. But if you're calling from the diaspora, just call the WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp number is 0700-903-9039. Save it on WhatsApp as VOP, and then you can reach us 0700-903-9039. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
We're calling from Moshi.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead. Unfortunately, you call me, you don't want to say anything. Okay, so, all right. All right, so I'll go back to more messages. Right, this here says, all right, let me see if I can take a few more calls before that. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, welcome.
Hey, Precious, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Tony from Chicago.
Oh, Tony, you're welcome. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I've been following your program all day. Sometimes I might not be able to get a chance to call you, or you might not be able to go through. I understand. But today's on, I just have a different opinion because I pitied our Nigerian judiciary. Because everything pointed towards them, because it's obvious that there was election as malpractice there. Every angle is pointing towards them not to do the needful. And I'm not saying that they should not swear Tinubu in. If there's no court resolution of that, they should swear Tinubu in as a president. But let the court, first of all, declare that 25% of Abuja. It's a very critical issue, not only for this situation, because of future kinds of such things, because they have to explain to it. If we are our understanding, it might be like Tinubu did not qualify. But I don't know the legal terms they might use to explain it to our own to understand it. English is a borrowed language. Britons know what is and. But if the law, they can make and to be worse and defend it. So that's the problem we are going to face tomorrow. But I'm sure the judiciary is now put on check. It's seriously, those 5 judges or 3 judges there, they're not finding it easy. Because it's not going to be easy for them. All eyes on them. American came the other day, now the British coming again. And all eyes on them to know what they will say. But let the good will of God happen. Let's have a peaceful Nigeria. That's what I pray for.
Thank you. Thank you
Amen.
so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So this message says, I love your program, but telling people not to say their mind on air means that there is no freedom of expression in Nigeria. My dear brother, there is freedom of expression. Even though your freedom of after expression may not be guaranteed, but then you don't use languages. So the thing is, it's not about saying your mind. If saying your mind means that you use insulting words or words that are insulting, and use languages that are not radio friendly, especially for daytime radio where children may be listening, or you use words that are divisive that may incite violence, then no, you can't do that. I do hope you understand. But the thing is that a lot of people don't want to understand. I understand how emotional we can be sometimes about some of these conversations, and then we just get carried away by emotions and we forget that those little, are things we have to put into consideration. That's actually what it is. So it's not because there's no freedom of speech, right? Everyone that has hands in the manipulation of last election will not go free from the anger of God. Ima from Isola away. What will God do? Oh, well, unfortunately, God does not come down from heaven. This is not me undermining the power of God, but He never comes down from where He is to do anything in Nigeria, right? You have to learn to rescue yourselves, and place yourself in the place you want yourself to be. If I have to keep sounding yourself, right? All right, a few more calls, 0700-903-903-903 0700 903 9039. Emmanuel Bassi said, I said this matter is that of naked dance in the market square. Nigeria election 223. All right, that is February 2023. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah. Good evening.
You're welcome, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I hear how you are stressing yourself on the radio station
Exactly,
about the wahala of this country. Sorry, go 20. Huh? I'm survived by the grace of God. Listen to me. I have something to say concerning this Nigeria of 2020 election. You know what? I never see anyone after the election and maybe declare you a winner and they start commanding without handover. I never see that one. There's something they say, Tinubu elect is going to do that. Have to pull and have to say this. I never see them. They are just playing with us. So they are playing with us. This is our country. They are playing with us. Our leaders are playing with us. I never see them. I never see them. If ever I know something to date, they win, you win, they let you win. And until the day they swear you in, that's why you can be able to start operating. You can be able to give in order on controlling the country. But what is going on today? I don't understand. The president elect, yes, we know that. But since there is matter on the court, and they are still putting eyes on this, and they're putting condition to whoever they will judge it. I don't see how he will begin to perambulating and doing other things. And people will be calling him, become an open this, become an, commission this, become an, I never seen him for Nigeria before. Because Nigeria is time, it's going to time for everybody. Even as you are there now, it tire you. It's not your job. And what's happening now today? Somebody committed suicide and died. Because of how this country is moving on. Yes. He died. So now, even God will save his people. That's the reason I know. Like somebody that said God will forgive us. No. This thing doesn't concern God, though. It concerns we, man. He gave us power, dominion over everything on earth. However I want this country to be, it's in our hands. In our hands. I'm telling you. Even the government who are hearing us now, however they want country to be, fine. But all I know is that let us call it a spade. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
All right, this says Henry from Port Harcourt. What did you say? Okay, that's what you said. Yeah. So this says in the US, all those involved, including Wike, Mahmoud, the fake lecturer, and the INEC staff that partook will be jailed a minimum of 20 years. That if this had happened in the US. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sister Precious Wanyama, is there no step down conversation today? You people have carried my step down away. Maybe we to go on sabbatical with me till I come back. He said, thanks from Enyinaya, all the way from Ikeja. Enyinaya, appreciate you. Let me take this last call and then before I say tata. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Yes, can you hear me? Good evening.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. AK. Calling from
Cletus.
AK.
AK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. AK, go ahead. I can hear you. Can you speak up a bit? Because I can barely hear what you're saying. You know what?
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello? Yes, good evening, welcome.
Precious, how are you? Good evening.
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
My name is Chika Robinson. I'm calling from Ago.
Chika, you're welcome. Go ahead very quickly.
Precious here from River State, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Do you think there is a state who is richer than River State in America?
Right.
Do you think there is a state in UK, in Germany, in Russia, who is richer than River State? And you came to this Lagos and they do you boji because you people are not autonomous. Soviet Union, they find themselves that they cannot cope together. They divide. Germany, they do East and Western Germany. UK, Britain, Northern Ireland, Scotland. They are doing not boji because their resources inside the job. All of them are sharing it, eating it. No Port Harcourt Wharf, nothing, no Calabar Wharf, no refinery, nothing there. They are doing Boji in Lagos. So from 1966 to this time, how many years? Tell Labour Party, tell Obi, even if Obi take that comment, they will not allow him to lose. If Buhari is Igbo man, therefore, or from South or for the overthrow, therefore don't overthrow, they will overthrow him. The question is that let Obi suppress and from now to 2030, if we cannot make it, let everybody go its own way. This country finish. Let Obi support, because if he said government, they will not support him. They will not allow him. Why are they doing Buju? One is not working. You only Lagos are building the fourth bridge, fourth wall, this and this. We are clapping with one hand, only oil. The third is none of this is to go. Why did you pipe from Yadiva State, they pipe crude oil, pipe gas to Lagos. You are building Lagos, they tell you they cannot vote. Let us separate from now to 2013. Go conference, separate. Everybody go your way.
But you shouldn't be saying this on radio, right? So this is exactly the same thing. The reason why it looks like I don't let people say their mind. You can't be talking about separation in Nigeria on national radio. I appreciate you. I get your point. But it's okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. All right, Lagos. This will be the size of our package this evening. Thank you so much to everyone who did contribute on the show today. Thank you to all those who did call us. Thank you to those who had who were able to speak up and speak their mind respectfully, adhering to the process and the laws. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. My name is Precious Inye. Remember, I return to your radio again tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. Hopefully. Thursday, Mr. Darlington would be with me again, 6:30 p.m. But on Friday, you will not be hearing my voice because Esther Nwachukwu will be standing in for me from Friday till the next 2 weeks, as I'll be away for my father's funeral. So I do hope that you treat Esther and Mr. Darlington very, very well, just like he treats me. Thank you to those who've been giving me bags, and thank you to me for giving you bags for your bags. You know, it's all love here, right? It's the job that we do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My name is Precious Inye, as I said. If you want to reach out to me on social media, I'm at Precious Inye Official on Instagram. Precious Inye Official together on Instagram. Twitter is at Precious_ENYI. By the way, for those of you who are saying I support this, I support that, perhaps when you go through my Instagram or Twitter, you will understand a little bit of my perspective, even though I'm not such a social media person, but you may understand a little bit of my perspective about the Nigerian election, right? All right. Do have yourself an amazing evening. Good night.